actually walked away. He was walking away from the police, and this one cop got out the car and shot him 16 times. So he got hit like 3 times standing up, but when he hit the ground, the guy just, empty bullets into his body. Yeah, and that's when the people started calling for the resignation of the mayor. Yeah, that's what started that whole movement. So.
Are you folks from out of town?
We are. We're from Texas.
Yeah. Have you had some instances of police killing of youth, black youth in the streets, and minority youth?
Not personal in my life, but I know that it goes on,
The brutal death of Laquan McDonald has created an uprising in the city of Chicago.
How many sons? 16 shots! How many sons? 16 shots!
We began by calling for the resignation of the mayor and also of Anita Alvarez, both of who were directly responsible with withholding the tape, the videotape of Laquan McDonald for over 400 days. They didn't release that tape. But once it got released, people immediately began calling for the resignation of Rahm Emanuel.
Rahm, we don't want your task force. We don't want your half-baked apology. We want your resignation. You have presided over a city where injustice is rampant. You say that there are no second-class citizens in Chicago. You act like you just woke up and found out that there was injustice in the police department in Chicago. Well, here's your wake-up call. Resign!
He covered up the tape so that it wouldn't have any bearing on his election. And Anita Alvarez also played a huge role in not charging the cops and holding back the video. So we successfully voted her out of office, and now the focus is going to be exclusively on getting Rahm out of office. But even more important than that is the fact that this young man was murdered unjustly, and we want justice. And so here we are gathering in Millennium Park, calling for the resignation of Rahm Emanuel, calling for justice for Laquan McDonald, calling for the end of police murders and brutality in the city of Chicago, which is ongoing, happening every single day. Our communities are occupied by this military force. And, we think that the only solution to this is community control of the police through an all-elected civilian police accountability council.
As a result of the crisis following the release of that video, more and more social forces, the Chicago Teachers Union, the Trinity United Church of Christ, Obama's old church, one of the largest black churches in the city, came over and came to the conclusion that there is no police accountability if Mayor Emanuel has any role in it, and began to support the campaign for an elected civilian police accountability council that puts community control over the police. And in the months since then, we've also made an historic advance that we've actually gotten CPAC submitted into the city council. Yes, we've had press conferences in the city council as we were introducing it into city council. I spoke at one of them.
And I'm speaking today on behalf of the Service Employees International Union Local Number 73. I'm a member of Local 73 and an activist. I work at the University of Illinois at Chicago, where I'm the co-chair of the Joint Bargaining Committee. We represent 3,500 workers there on the west side of the city. Our members are building service workers and clerical workers and physical therapists and medical assistants. And here in the city of Chicago as a whole, we represent workers in the police department, in the parks, in the public schools. Our members include crossing guards, for example, helping keep our kids safe on their way to school. I'm here today because our local voted last year to support legislation to create an elected Civilian Police Accountability Council, CPAC. That motion to support CPAC was adopted unanimously by an executive board meeting, followed by a unanimous vote by a general membership meeting.
16 shots in a cover-up! 16 shots in a cover-up!
The mayor has pushed through a fake police accountability system, which basically is just changing the name of the old system. It's a mayoral appointed police accountability system, which we know that this man doesn't have the will to hold the police accountable. Because if he did, Jason Van Dyke would have been charged with murder within hours of the shooting of Laquan McDonald. 2 years ago, Laquan was murdered on October 20th. And 1 year ago, the video was released and the uprising of protest began. And we're going to march on the Magnificent Mile and send a message that we're going to launch an economic boycott starting on Black Friday.
CPAC! CPAC! CPAC!